Travel Robot Presents. Top 10 Things to Do in Minnesota. Here is the list of to-do things in Minnesota. The North Star State is home to a ton of activities, ranging from winter sports to mountain hiking to urban excursions. As Minnesota residents for over 10 years, we've got you covered with the real list of the best things to do in Minnesota. Minnesota is truly a hidden gem in America. I may be biased as I'm Minnesotan born and raised, but I'll never hide my passion for my home state. It's the North. It's the L'Étoile du Nord, or the North Star State for a reason. It's the true beauty of Minnesota and the great people that make it a destination that should be on any person's bucket list for traveling the United States. Here is the list of 10 things to do in Minnesota. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our future updates. Number 10. Teddy Gov State Park. One of my favorite state parks in all of MN, Teddy Gov State Park. This state park is located along Lake Superior and is one of the best ways to see the shoreline on the North Shore. Teddy Gov State Park is full of things to do, including hiking, swimming, and photography. On a clear day, it's amazing to take photos that capture the outstanding views of Lake Superior. Another bonus is that Teddy Gov State Park is home to Bear Island. To get there, you have to take a ferry across Turtle River from the park office. They are free. Once you arrive at the other side, you'll meet a very unique experience. You will most likely be one of the only people there, and it's simply an amazing place to hike and explore without crowds. I would actually recommend camping out on Bear Island for a night or two. Just make sure to take plenty of supplies, wet weather, and safety gear with you in case things go wrong. There are many options for activities just minutes away from Teddy Gov State Park. It's a beautiful place with a sort of edge-of-the-world feel that sits on Lake Superior's shore. It's home to things like fishing, hiking, and kayaking. Number 9. Visit Minnesota's North Shore. The North Shore Scenic Drive is a reference to the shoreline coast in northern Minnesota along Lake Superior, just past Duluth. The North Shore is made up of several small towns, including Grand Marais, Two Harbors, and Silver Bay. There are many things to see and do here for people of all ages and interests. Hiking trails, waterfalls on Lake Superior, historic sites such as the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore, Grand Portage State Park, and Pigeon River Country State Forest, kayaking on Lake Superior or canoeing the St. Louis River Estuary, and paddling around the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness. The North Shore deserves its own write-up completely on the top things to do, as this is home to some of the best state parks, waterfalls, fall colors, wildlife habitats, and campsites in Minnesota. There are plenty of iconic landmarks and trails to enjoy, as well as the aforementioned outdoorsy activities along the North Shore of Lake Superior. Number 8. Hike the Superior Hiking Trail. The Superior Hiking Trail is a 211-mile, 340 kilometers, backpacking trail in northern Minnesota. The Superior Hiking Trail is also known as the Sheshti, and it's a perfect setting for those looking to enjoy nature, get some exercise, and have adventures along the way. When you're hiking in this state, you can typically expect things like quiet trails that are often out in the unspoiled wilderness and not crowded at all. You'll also find things like water and restroom facilities along the way. Water is important because it can get hot on the trail, and you'll want to stay hydrated. At the end of the day, this is a great place to come and experience true peace and quiet, as well as things like adventure and fresh air that you won't find in a crowded city. Number 7. Visit the Boundary Waters Canoe and Camping Area. The BGUCA is one of my personal favorites to completely get off the grid and explore the wilderness. I absolutely love the Boundary Waters Canoe Area in Minnesota. It's best done on a beautiful 3-day canoe trip and camping excursion. The BGUCA is one of my favorite places to visit in Minnesota because it offers an incredible wilderness experience. You don't need to own a canoe, as there are numerous sites that rent them out. It's always fun to go around that time of year, and it's an experience you won't forget. Even if you don't have the time to explore in a canoe, make sure to stop and visit Gooseberry Falls State Park, pictured in this piece, on your way into the Boundary Waters Canoe Area. It's about a 45-minute drive from Duluth down the Superior Highway 1, and it's absolutely worth the stop. Gooseberry Falls State Park is free to visitors and is one of the best tourist attractions in Minnesota that just can't be missed, particularly in autumn. The falls are everything you want in a beautiful waterfall. Tall, roaring, majestic, and surrounded by trees dressed in fall foliage, with plenty of hiking trails and outdoor recreation. Number 6. Rent a houseboat or canoe at Voyageurs National Park. While home to numerous breathtaking state parks, Voyageurs National Park is Minnesota's only national park. It's a place to experience the real outdoor adventure of wetlands, pine trees, and serene lakes that do not have a boat wake. Just calm, crystal-clear waters. One of the most popular things to do in Voyageurs National Park is to rent a houseboat. Since there are so many waterways and interconnecting lakes, it's a spot that warrants a way for you to cruise through the lakes without having to rough it up by camping. It's a unique national park, given how north it is relative to the rest of the continental United States. Voyageurs National Park is on the Canadian border and offerings some of the best northern outdoor pursuits and adventures that anyone could ask for, making it one of the best Minnesota attractions to visit. Number 5. Pretend you are in the mountains at Lutsen Mountain. Minnesota is not known for having a ton of rocky or mountainous terrain. In fact, it's known for being the opposite. But believe it or not, you can find some excellent skiing resorts. Lutsen Mountain is the most well-known since it's a ski resort that feels just like a mountain in northeast Minnesota along the North Shore Scenic Drive. While you are in this part of Minnesota, make sure you go on a classic cross-country skiing adventure. Visiting in the summer? No problem. This is still a great spot to visit during summer, since the mountain has an alpine slide and a golf course. The mountain is located conveniently along the north shore of Lake Superior in Lutsen, Minnesota, which is just 15 minutes south of the iconic Grand Marais. Watch our view of the Lutsen Mountains from our YouTube channel to get a visual experience of the mountain. Number 4. Check out the state's first city, Stillwater. Stillwater is a great, charming small town to visit. The town features amazing shopping and rich history. It's Minnesota's first city after all. If you enjoy the outdoors, you'll be able to find a nice park or greenway along the St. Croix River. The 25-mile-long trail is one of many lovely things about Stillwater, with its natural setting offering great views of the city's downtown and St. Croix River Valley. The small old town will definitely surprise you with things to do, things to see, things to eat, and things to buy. Check out the downtown shops, boutiques, and antique stores for clothing, gifts, or home decor. Check out these best things to do in Stillwater, Minnesota if you like what you are hearing. Number 3. Minneapolis Institute of Art. The Minneapolis Institute of Art is a museum for contemporary and modern art. The museum has one of the largest collections in the United States when it comes to 20th century art, as well as vast collections of Asian, African, and pre-Columbian art. It's centrally located in Minneapolis and is completely free and open to the public. Inside the museum, you can see works by legends such as Vincent van Gogh, Pablo Picasso, Henri Matisse, Renoir, and Monet, as well as educational exhibits. If you want to learn more about the Minneapolis Institute of Art, watch our YouTube video covering everything you need to know about the museum. Number 2. Minnesota State Capitol. Go see the L'Étoile du Nord for yourself. It's simply sitting right there in the lobby and main rotunda of the Minnesota State Capitol in St. Paul, the other half of the Twin Cities. Yeah, Minnesotans have a ton of pride over our North Star, and you'll see it everywhere, particularly in this grand old building. The Minnesota State Capitol is an excellent free thing to do as you can tour it at any time. Number 1. Como Park Zoo and Conservatory in St. Paul. Como Park Zoo is a completely free zoo and conservatory located in St. Paul. It's a great activity to do with kids. Plus, the Como Park Zoo is centrally located between Minneapolis and St. Paul, so it's easy to access if you aren't staying on the St. Paul side. For a free zoo, there are a ton of great animals to see such as polar bears, lions, tigers, flamingos, and gorillas. The conservatory is filled with plants from across the world, and it's fascinating to see the changes these plants go through over the course of a year. Como Park Zoo also features a pretty decent fairground, and the park itself is the perfect place to throw a pigskin or frisbee, or settle down for a picnic. That brings us to the end of this video. If you love similar content like this, take a look at my other videos. And if you like it, please smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. If you have further questions, feel free to comment down below. See you in the next video.